Hello and welcome to my live. Today we're going to talk about how anxious people love, how they have difficulty receiving love, how anxious people sometimes they are so bad at taking in the love that we give them. So, if you have an anxious partner or if you are an anxious person, or you have what's called, what I'm actually going to talk about in anxiety is the fact that there's an attachment style called anxious attachment style. And if you have that, then you should stay with me so I can give you a whole bunch of tips on how to get better at that, how to receive your partner's love, how to give love without expecting anything back. You know, we expect things back, but I'll explain it better during the live. Welcome, Anthony. What is the duration of this live? Around 40 minutes. It's a whole class. This is something that I learned and I really wanted to give it out to people so that you understand how love works. You know, when we talk about attachment style, we're actually talking about how you learn to love, how you learn 30. You can stay 30 minutes, it's fine, but it usually lasts 40 minutes. When we're talking about attachment style, we're talking about in the way that you learn to love or the way you learn to be loved. When we are born in a particular family, we are loved in a particular way, and then so we grow up thinking that that is the right way to feel loved. And if your parents were negligent in love, then you expect your partner to be negligent, and then either you create a big problem with expecting them to fail, or also always being on them about not failing, although they're trying their best. So it seems like a battle that you can't win, you know, for the partner. It's really hard for the partner. Okay, so we're gonna start. So I'm gonna start from the beginning, okay, so that I cut it off and everything is clear from the beginning to the end. Today that live is going to be about, okay, again, welcome to my live. And today I'm going to talk to you about how anxious people love and how can we help them get better at receiving our love or feeling our love, or if you were anxious yourself, how to get people's turn that whatever they're giving you for love, you take it in. Sometimes it's really hard. So welcome to another live. And thank you for being with me. I want to help you love better, understand love in a healthier way. And today I'm going to give you 8 main characteristics of what is an attachment, the anxious attachment style, right? Attachment, again, is the way you learn to love and the way you learn to be loved by your parents, which eventually you end up thinking that this is the way you're supposed to be loved by your partners, right? Okay. So because when we love, anxious people can suffer, and their partner can suffer too. Because if you're always anxious and you're always waiting for doom, you're always waiting for something wrong to happen, whatever the person is giving you, it's already you're already expecting something bad. Let's say, usually anxious partners, they expect you to leave them. So again, the person lives in a place in a relationship with you that they you already think is doomed. So then it's a losing battle for them. Okay, so let's dive right in the attachment style, in this particular attachment style called anxious attachment style, and sweetly also called the open-hearted attachment style. If you're in this only happens because your parents were absent or negligent in the love that they gave you. Okay, we can be this creates anxiety in people, or it makes them avoidant. All right, so if in your childhood you had, let's say, trauma, you could have the other attachment style, which Last week, I taught about the 4 attachment styles, and today I'm dissecting more on just the anxious one so that you understand how to act and what you can do about it. All right. And if our parents were there for us, let's say your parents were there for you, and whenever you felt alone, they were there, they helped you, and you felt loved and connected and everything. What happens is that you have the secure, the safe attachment style, which is the one that everybody wants, right? I want to be that type, obviously, right? So actually, I'm not the anxious type naturally, but I do have one characteristic of it that I have that is very strong, right? Not very strong. It's not today lighter because as you learn to love and you learn to give love and you learn to receive love, you start healing, right? So I'm a lot better in that. So these are the 8 characteristics that I'm going to give you that are main characteristics for the anxious attachment style. But before I start, I want to say something very, very serious. If you identify with this attachment style, do not blame yourself. Do not belittle yourself or diminish yourself in any way. Be compassionate about who you are towards yourself. Just have self-compassion. You are not rotten. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not broken. We're always changing. There's always going to be something that we can fix in us, and we're always getting better at something. And our brain there's plasticity. That means we're highly adaptable to things and to change. And so think that you are here for a purpose and to change, to get better in some things. So therefore, this is a step that you can take, or some of the tips that I'm going to give you today to help you heal and not have the attachment style little by little. Heal it. Okay. So give yourself, that whenever you hear it, don't feel bad about yourself. Just give yourself some love and look at this characteristic that you have and think of ways that you can change. I'm going to give you tips and you're going to have, find your own way out of this, right? So starting on number 1, the first very important characteristic of the attachment style is it's like this. A person that is anxiously attached to other people, they feel insecure about relationships. So you're always concerned about being enough to your partner. You never feel like you are enough, right? This disturbs the relationship. It creates in the relationship something heavy to live by. It's a heavy burden to think that you always have to prove yourself to be good enough, right? So feeling insecure in relationships and thinking that you're not good enough is really it really brings attention to this movement of not enoughness, if you can call it that. So there's always a threat, right? Whatever happens, let's say your partner meets somebody at work that is prettier than you or more stronger, more muscular, whatever than you. Then you might feel, oh, I'm not good enough. I'm not as beautiful, as strong, as powerful, do not have enough money than that other person. And so it's always going to bring that feeling of inadequacy inside of you. And you don't want to live like that. You don't want to feel like you're never enough, right? So, and this happens because when you grew up, when you were little, your parents, they spent several hours at work. And when they came back, they did not have time for you. Or when they came back, they didn't have, or when they were away, whenever you needed their love, their care, let's say you got hurt, you felt sad or alone, they were not there to comfort you. And then therefore, inside of you created a belief, which is a very sad belief that says, there must be something wrong with me or else my parents would be with me. Right? Which is a lie. Your parents love you. They have to go to work. You are valuable and you're precious. But we believe in certain lies sometimes, and that is a distorted thing to believe in, right? If you grew up with this feeling that you are broken, you're damaged goods, there's something wrong with you, then in any relationship you start, any relationship, friendship or romantic, you're always gonna have this feeling, this lie that you believe in, that it doesn't matter how much the person loves you, there's always going to be a threat. Because you see, we're never going to be everything that everybody wants. We can never be everything, right? There's no way. I can never be taller. I can never be, have the perfect body. I could try, but obviously there's going to be a time that I can't. Or there's always going to be people that in our lives that are going to be better than us in other ways. So this feeling of inadequacy needs to go away. We cannot live with this feeling. It's not good for us, and we're going to learn ways that you can get out of that feeling, right? Number 2. Number 2, this characteristic is very sad, is this imminent feeling of abandonment, meaning you're always going to have like that dark cloud over you, making you feel like you're going to be abandoned. You're going to be left alone. Nobody's going to care, right? People who have the anxious attachment style or the open-hearted attachment style, they feel like the other person is always going to leave them. Like their parents would leave them every day to go to work. I have a family member that thought that her mom died every day when she would go to work, and when she come back at the end of the day, she would resurrect, right? Which is strange to think, but kids have a magical mind, the way they think. And so therefore it made sense. And so she felt like she lost everything that she needed to live, by, which is her mom, her dad. They're not there. If you lose your mom, if you're a baby and you lose your mom and your dad, if you're a little kid, toddler, you lost everything. There's no one that you think will take care of you. So it's very serious to think that there is this imminent fear of abandonment, right? It's very sad. So in this case, the adult who has an open-hearted attachment, they believe that at any time, at any moment, their partner is going to leave them, and they're going to be alone. They're going to die alone, right? I am not going to survive without them, because when you're a kid, if you lose your parent, you do not survive without your parents. Therefore, when you're an adult and you lose your partner, you think you're going to die too, right? So it's a very yucky feeling to think that at any point you could just lose that person, right? Which of course causes problems, because it makes the other person unable to supply, to fulfill that, or to go against that lie. If you already believe that the person is going to leave, then therefore there's nothing that I can say or do that if I say, I will never leave you, I'll always be here for you, I love you, I love you, I love you. And if you cannot believe any of my words, then what can I do? There's nothing I can do to make you believe in my love, right? There's that video that I sent of Adele, right? And she says, take in my love, receive my love, right? It's beautiful. It's one of my reels. You can watch it later. Stay with me now. So number 3, another characteristic of people that have anxious attachment style is problems in trust, right? They cannot trust. They have a hard time trusting, right? If you have difficulty trusting your partners, sometimes it is even hard to believe that they even love you, right? That they will never leave you. When your friends say that they care about you and you can't even take that in either, you end up thinking that you are just like, when a person says something, oh, I care about you, you're so important to me, in the back of your mind, you might not even believe it. You might even say to yourself, they're just saying that. They're just saying that because it's a normal thing to say. That's it. So it's not nice, right? First off, you're disregarding what the person's saying. Secondly, I think it's also very sad they cannot even take in this love, right? So problems trusting goes in every sector of life. So trusting the person financially, trusting the person physically, even in an intimate physical way, trusting the other person's love, trusting the other person's care, everything, right? People that has this attachment style, anxious attachment style, learn as children when their parents were inconsistent with their treatment, with their love. They thought, if not even my parents love me consistently, why would they love me consistently? There is a logic to this. They're not crazy. Y'all not crazy, or whoever has it. But this makes sense. It's not right. It's not good. It's not healthy to think in this way, but it makes sense, right? So number 4. Okay, another characteristic of people that have an attachment that is called the anxious attachment style or the open-hearted attachment style is that they are clingy, right? So these are very needy partners that depend on the other partner a little too much, on their friends or their family members. So they are clingy, and this is a coping mechanism used to protect that part of them that says, I'm afraid that they're going to leave me. So because they're always fearing that they're going to be left, they say, oh, let me get them to do things for me and get busy with me, so therefore, or be connected to me or be with me all of the time, so that I stop feeling that they're going to leave, right? So they say, I need you for this, I need you for that, I need you for this or that or this and that, right? Or they might even make themselves available to be needed, right? So they're like, oh, I can do your laundry, I can do this for you, I can do that for you. But because in the back of their minds, they're like, if this person needs me, then they're never gonna leave me, right? It's very sad to think that they do things for other people expecting something back. So these people, they actually have this tendency of giving love to receive love. They give a hug to receive a hug. They give a kiss because they want to get a kiss, right? So love is not a money that you change for items, or love, you give love the way you want to give love, and vice versa. You can ask for things in a relationship. Hey, I want it to be complimented. I feel like do you love me? You want to hear these things, and that makes sense. But that doesn't mean that they have to give you exactly as you give them. Okay, because it creates this nagging thing. It creates this need, this debt. Right? I gave you this, and this, and you need to give me this, and this, and this, and this. Right? It has to match. So love does not work in that way. It does not have that logic, and it's not fair, right? So also, people that are clingy give this feeling on the other person that they are drained. They drain them. There's no space for them to be themselves. There's no space for them to do their own thing. They have to be enmeshed, right? It's not healthy. We need to have our own space. Okay? So this is another bad characteristic, and it needs to be changed, right? Number 5, emotional neediness, or the emotional attention, right? So if you always need attention, if you're always wanting attention, give me attention, look at me, pay attention to me, this is not good. It's not healthy that you're always needing attention and people to look at you, give you attention and pay attention to you, right? This comes from a place of, when I was a child, I never got the attention that I needed, so therefore right now I need to get the attention, and look at me, pay attention to me. Not good. Everybody has their own time to get attention, and you need to balance that out too, right? So love is a beautiful thing, and it has to be given naturally, not requested. In this case, they're like, you need to give me attention, you need to give me love, there's always this like request, right? So whenever you do need love, you can say, baby, I need attention, honey, I need time, I need quality time with you, and that's fine. But you have to understand this attachment style goes to a trade mode, right? So it's always not healthy. So what they think, these people are highly pleasant, very sweet to other people. They're always people pleasing, right? Why? Because they believe if they're pleasant, if they're sweet, they're nice, then other people will like them, right? But in reality, they're giving love to receive love, right? There's always that trade. Of course, no one is going to give you all the love you give them. That's impossible. You give whatever you have to give. Other people give what they have to give, right? What they have inside of them to give to you. So number 6, exacerbated reactions towards criticism. Now, when people criticize you, obviously it's never going to be like, oh yes, please criticize me. No. But these people, they get extremely imbalanced, right? Uneasy with criticism. So it alters their view of themselves. It lowers their self-esteem. It is common that we don't like it. We don't like criticism, but to them, it's not a constructive criticism. It's a destructive criticism, right? It's very, very heavy because this criticism amplifies every fear that they have. So it adds to the fear of rejection, the fear of abandonment. So it's very hard to have them understand that there's something wrong and just change. It could be just a little thing, because it communicates to them they are not good enough, and now it settles it. Now it's clear. Now we know for sure I will be abandoned, right? Nobody's ever gonna love me or something like that. So they forget, and people that have this attachment style, they do not know their value most of the time. They don't know their characteristics. They do not value themselves, and so therefore it messes up with their understanding of who they are, whatever criticism. Because let's say today I made my nails, and if you can see, I don't know if you can see it, but it's blurry, but it messed up, especially in this finger. It got ruined, right? So when I looked, it was green, everything was just green, and then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna do these little pearls on the, you can still see the mess, like I messed it up right there. So I put this thing on top so it would fix it. So in this case, I fixed one of my defects, right? Something that I thought is an example. But in this case, if a person that has this attachment style, they want everything to be perfect, and whenever things are not perfect, it's a big deal. It's very serious. House has to be perfect, the clothes has to be perfect, or the body, or the this or that, because they want to be accepted. They do these things to be loved and accepted. So you cannot find a fault on them, because they are doing this to be accepted, because it's already based on that fear, right? This transformation, everything that they do that is good, comes from a place of fear, not a place of self-love. I love myself, therefore I take care of myself. I paint my nails, or therefore I take care of my skin. It comes from a place of I'm not enough, and so therefore I need to do so much to be enough. And so that it's messed up. You guys see it? Do you see the problem? All right. Number 7, the person is ambivalent about intimacy, right? So people with an open-hearted attachment style, or also called the anxious attachment style, want to be intimate but they feel overwhelmed with physical intimacy, right? Some people are torn between hating love and loving love, right? Making love or physical, right? Sex. So because they are afraid of physical and emotional intimacy, and at the same time they have desire for it, but this may come because as they do not because they never felt fully loved, completely loved by their parents. So if they, not even their parents love them, how can this stranger love me? You know, like it comes from that place of doubt, right? So if I don't even love myself, how can you love me? You know, I see my defects. I have so many, right? So bad qualities, right? So therefore, it's hard to, there's this ambivalence of you probably don't love me, and so therefore this intimate time where I'm completely exposed to you is very hard for me. It's hard to take it in, it's hard to enjoy it, it's hard to just live that moment, right? They do a lot of other things, and in every other thing they're perfect, but in this it's very, very hard to be completely open, completely accepting of love, because one, they feel unworthy of love, they don't feel like they deserve love, which is the next one. So why would you love me if I feel like I don't deserve love, right? I feel like you're going to abandon me, so therefore I'm already like have plan B all the time, right? Because I'm afraid because you're going to leave me and all this. So there's all of these fears, right? It's very heavy. In which we go to number 8 now, which is they feel unworthy of love, right? So these people unfortunately feel like they do not deserve people's love, affection, hugs, kisses, compliments, anything, because they feel that they are not good enough for the relationship. They already start off in that place like, I'm not good enough. I already know it. I don't know why they love me. I don't believe that they love me. So they are not good enough. So they do not deserve this love, right? These people feel less than others, and this distorted view of this reality makes them even worse to receive love. So because, okay, so let's say you're walking on the street, somebody looks at you and says, hey, I'm gonna give you a house. Like, what? I'm gonna give you a house. I'm gonna give you a brand new house in the street. It's beautiful. It's very expensive. It's worth $350,000. I'm giving it to you. And you're like, why? I didn't do anything to you. Why would you give me something? Right? So it's the same way. Like, if I give you something every day, I give you a compliment. It's so beautiful. It's so sweet, so nice, so precious, right? And you don't take it in. And the other day I give you it again. At one point I know that you're not taking it in. Oh, it's not true. Oh, this old thing. Oh, I'm fat. All this. So if you don't take in the compliments, if you don't take in people's love, people are going to stop giving it to you, which then is going to take you to that belief that is the basis of everything. They're going to leave me. I'm not good enough, right? So one problem takes you to another problem that takes you to another problem in this sad and very convoluted attachment style, right? So, okay, so now that I've scared you enough, right? If you haven't gotten scared now, I think by now you have, right? I'm going to tell you a little bit of how to work it out, how to fix it. What are the things that you can do to fix this situation? What to do if you have this type of attachment style. So you see, there are people that only have 1 or 2 characteristics that I said. I said 8 in total. So if you have 5 of the 8 or 4, you are in an anxious attachment style. But love, the Bible says that the love needs to be ready to be received. And Songs of Solomon says that you must not awaken love until the person is ready, until the heart is ready, right? So we need to be ready for love. And if you're not ready for love, you should not anticipate or change your life just because you're needy. You need to heal your heart so that you're ready to receive people's love, right? Our heart has to be ready for love. In this case, if you're ready in a relationship, don't think you're not ready for love and now you have to break up. No. We can correct our minds and our hearts and our understanding of love right now. People who have these kinds of attachment style end up choosing partners that are not there for them, who are usually avoidant. Excuse me. They in their love style is to be aggressive or manipulative or controlling, right? So they're dry in their love, they're threatening, so they manipulate. So they say, if you don't stop this, I will do that. I will leave you. If you don't stop doing that, I will leave you, right? So in love, we don't manipulate. In love, we don't control. In love, we don't have that list of, I did this, and that, and so now, the debt list, right? So in love, we don't do, the healthy love does not do that, and we shouldn't do that, right? And that makes sense because when we are small and doing this, it's wrong, but when we're little, we learn this because when we're little, things made sense. For example, your mom and your dad say, if you eat everything, you're gonna get ice cream. So, as an adult in a relationship, you're gonna go, if you do this, I will do that, right? The trading thing, right? But when you're an adult, that shouldn't work. That's not the way you should do things, right? So, because when you grow up, you think, okay, I need the adult, I need this adult, I need this parent, so then I will be nice to this parent because I need to survive. If I don't take care of this parent, if I don't obey this parent, they are not gonna be nice to me. They're gonna leave me out in the streets, and then I will die, right? So I have in my family a person that got married into the family, right? And she said that her mother, whenever her mother was mad at her mom wouldn't talk to her for weeks, a month sometimes. And I said, oh my God, your mom was so mean. It's like, yeah, she would do that to me. And said, so, and to this day, she's totally an anxious attachment style. Why? Because she believes that if she does everything right, then she's supposed to get the love. And if she doesn't do everything right, then and so whenever that doesn't happen, she bouts, right? So when you grow up with these beliefs and you turn into an adult thinking that the relationship with an adult is the same way, it's unhealthy, right? So another characteristic would be, I do everything for the adults to love me. So if you do everything right, then they're gonna love you, right? It goes together with the first one that I said. So again, your partner, you can do everything right, but there are partners that just don't love, right? So it's not a trade, okay? Another thing, I do what adults want me to be because I want to be a good girl or a good boy, right? When you grow up in that household where, you're being a bad boy, right? Shame, using shame, it happens again in the adult life. You grow up thinking, if I don't do everything right, then I am shaming my parents, or I am, I'm a big problem. I am the problem, right? So that's again another problem. Why? Because we all make mistakes, and we're not the problem that we created. Rather, we commit errors. We are not the error, right? We do things that are wrong. We're sinners, right? So all of this happens because when we are children, we need adults to live. If we don't have the adults, we will die. So we do everything that we need to do to be accepted, loved, seen, and even to feel important. The word important comes from the word put in, import, right? Just like the word export is take out, right? So importing, right? If you think you're inside of a person's heart, you are important to them. They imported you inside of their heart, right? So the people in this attachment style, they don't feel like they are in anybody's heart. They don't feel important. They don't receive love. When you give them attention, they don't receive it as good attention. They see it as negative, right? Everything has a second intention. I do this so I can get that, so I'm seen as good or enough, right? There's always this, second, way of thinking, if that's or a second, what's the word, intention, right? And it may make sense to you to do these trades in love, but it's not healthy, and it puts a strain in the relationship, because the person that is with you will always feel like they are in debt, and nothing that they can say or do will ever be good enough for you, because you're always going to have that list of the debt. You owe me this, because I gave you this, and this. So they're never going to be good enough for you. The problem that I think hurts the most in an anxious attachment style or attachment style of love is that they don't love their partners. They love the partners that they created in their minds. Oof, I just broke your head right there. Okay, so in this case, for example, if these people, they think of their partners as the idealized partner that they have in their head, not the real person. And so let's say this bottle of water, right? Let's say this is the best water in the world. It tastes amazing. There's nothing like it. And so therefore, before I buy it, I'm expecting to have the very best flavor and kill my thirst forever and ever, and I'll never have to drink water again. I'm expecting way too much from this water, man. Way too much, right? And then I will drink it. And then what happens? I will feel deceived. I feel like, oh my gosh, it lied to me. This is not good enough. I can get angry. I can get defensive. I can have resentment. Why? Because it's never going to be every single thing that I expected them to be. Therefore, I'm not loving literally this water. I'm loving the water that is in my head, the one that I imagined it to be. And it's never going to be that. This is only going to be what it is, right? So you come in relationships expecting more than what the person can offer you, which is unfair, right? And at the same time, it then it adds to the belief that you're not enough, or you're not loved enough. You're never going to be loved enough or properly or fully, right? So it just adds to that sad and lying belief, right? So I think the biggest problem is that they love the wrong person, not the real person. So whoever the person is in front of them, they don't receive all of that because they're already expecting so much more from them, right? Just take in this person. Just take in this person and live with this person in the present moment, right? Another, like people with this attachment style, if they do that, for example, if they're a guy, they could expect his wife to have the perfect body and never gain weight and all this stuff. That's impossible to expect from a person, right? You have just created a feeling in them of insufficiency, of inadequacy, right? I will never be good enough for this person. Whatever I do, even if I do this, I'm always going to have something else to do. So never enough. I'll never have either enough money or enough of the nice body or enough of this or that, right? A major problem with anxious attachment also is that they believe that the partner has to read their thoughts. Yes, they believe this. So they believe deep down, if they have to ask for something in the relationship, it's already wrong. They cannot ask for anything. The other person has to give it to them without them asking for it. That's not fair. That is not fair. Nobody can read your mind. Nobody knows what your need is. So just ask for what you need, right? So it makes no sense to do that to people, because as soon as a person arrives, let's say you arrived in a restaurant and you get to the restaurant and the guy says, "What do you want to eat?" And the guy says, "Guess." That makes no sense. Just guess what I want to eat. No, you have to say what you want. It's not fair, right? So, love has to make sense, right? It's healthy to ask for love, to ask for attention. We all need it. We all want to be connected to people. But it's also unfair to ask to have a person try to guess our thoughts and our needs. Sometimes you don't even know what you need. How are you expecting other people to know your need? Oh no, he's supposed to know. No, they're not supposed to know, right? So, because sometimes when you grew up and you didn't have a voice and you didn't know what to say to your parent. I needed you. I missed you. I felt abandoned. You didn't know that. So you don't, you think that just as a parent is supposed to guess your need. Your partner is supposed to guess your need. Nay. No, not fair, right? So I'm going to give you tips on how to change that a little bit inside of you, little by little, with steps, and hopefully you can have a healthier relationship with your partner. These are the tips. Number 1, say what you want to your partner. Ask for what you need. When you do feel that you need to be loved, you need attention, say, I want attention. I needed quality time. Please stay with me. Let's go to the movies. Let's start having intimate moments. Ask for things. It's just simple. You want something? You ask for something, right? You don't get to the restaurant and say, guess. So do your partner a favor, and all of us do. Ask for what you want, honey. Number 2, say things with the meaning that you have for them inside of your heart. For example, instead of saying, I did this for you, and you need to do this for me, you say with I sentences, and you can look those up on Google. I sentences is when you speak from a place of heartfelt understanding. So when you didn't bring the bread for me yesterday, knowing that you do not have bread for breakfast, but I do, and I was expecting to have bread for breakfast the next day, I felt like you don't care about my needs. I felt like that's how I see you. No. I felt rejected. I felt forgotten. I felt unimportant to you. Right? And then after that, stop talking. Listen to what the other person has to say. Give them the opportunity to speak their minds. This is not a monologue. This is not a speech. This is not your child. This is your partner. Give them the benefit of the doubt. Wait for them to answer and talk properly. Don't attack. Speak from what hurts, from the place of hurting, not from the list of things that you're expecting from them. Stop expecting things from them like that. It's not fair. Okay, but that's not in one of the numbers. Okay, sorry. Number 3, don't say it all at once, right? Whenever you want something in a relationship or someone to get your feeling, use one situation, focus in one situation, and also just respect that timing or that thing, right? There's a Pastor Mark Golger. He teaches that men, they think like boxes, like every box is a subject matter, and women are all mixed up. And so they're like wires that touch each other, right? So we mix up things. Like with women, we talk about a lot of different things that to us makes sense in this emotion. But to men, you have to just talk about the family, just talk about the family. If you want to talk about money, let's talk about money. Don't mix things up. It's very confusing to them, right? So don't say it all at once. Don't overwhelm the person. It feels overwhelming when you're talk. Just, oh my God, just stop and let me get away from you, right? So no, just stay in that subject. Let the person answer. Give them the benefit of the doubt. Be loving. Speak from a place of truth, not from your head. speak from your heart, right? Speak in a loving way, right? The other day I had an issue with my partner, and I was upset, and I said like two sentences. I said like, I think you lied to me. You lied to me. I said what I thought was the truth and what I heard. I said, did you lie to me? And that's it. That's what started the conversation. I felt like you lied to me, like you deceived me. Something like that. And then he was like, oh, my love, no. And then he hugged me. No, I didn't. Come here. And then he explained the situation. So I gave him space to answer, the benefit of the doubt, love, right? Speaking from a place of, hey, I know you can be imperfect like I am imperfect. What happened here, right? Because I thought I mattered to you, and that hurt my feelings. And so I read you, Anthony. 1 second, okay? I'll try to do that, but there's no one else here, just me, okay? The kids are not here, honey. All right, so we can't do a live. All right, hold on. But you stay with me, please. I'm teaching. You can learn. All right. Don't say it all at once. Focus on focusing on the one subject and on this problem, whatever the problem is. Just talk about this. Don't go and overwhelm the person, because they're going to just go away again, right? 4, love yourself, appreciate yourself, honor yourself, respect yourself, know yourself, take care of yourself, right? People with low self-esteem and this type of attachment style, they usually have very low understanding of themselves. They don't know their value. They don't know their worth. That's very sad, and it breaks the whole relationship. Why? Because if you have value and you don't think you do, and you're doing too much to receive something from this other person, it's creating a debt on this person. It's like, oh, I'm doing this to you, and this person's like, hey, but I care. You're like, but I'm doing this to you, but I love you. They don't even take it, because what you're giving is like this much, and what the other person is, what you're giving is like this much to receive this much, right? Because it's a trade in love. And then the other person is giving you like this or something else that you were not even expecting, and then you don't take it in. So start valuing yourself, knowing who you are, knowing your characteristics and your personality, and honor that, right? God says for us to know ourselves. Know yourself, right? So 5, stay in the present. One of the biggest problems people with anxious attachment style is that they're always either in the future or in the past, but never here, right? So whenever you want them to take in your love, just say, hey, are you here with me? I even say that to my anxious patients. Say, are you here with me, or are you outside with your kids in the house? Where are you? Are you here with me, right? So be here with me. Receive my love. I'm giving you attention right now. Why you're thinking about other people? Why are you thinking about Abden and Abel? Stay with me, right? So if you love, you need to be in the present, right? If you love this person, try to receive the person's love. Okay. Another big quality and tip that you can do is the quality on the empathy, right? So these people are highly empathetical, so they're empaths. And there are 3 types of empaths, right? So there's the type of empath that is too much, and then there's like the one that does too much, the one that feels too much, the other one that does too much, and then the other one that is healthy, right? So you don't want to be the diffused one who's feeling sorry for everyone or doing everything for everyone. You want to be the healthy one, where you give as much as you can actually give, and take in as much as you can take in, right? So usually these people don't feel like people empathize with them. They usually don't feel like other people get it. You don't really get it. They think like that, right? And that's very hard. Whenever you have a person that doesn't think that you get it, then there's no empathy happening inside of them, and then therefore the problem does not get lower. The suffering doesn't diminish, right? So that's one of the feelings that people with anxious attachment style have, which is thinking that nobody gets them, their partner will never get them, right? So what we want in this place is to use your superpower of empathy for your own good, right? To give enough as you can give. And if you gave a lot to your partner and a lot to your kids or your friends, give to yourself too. Be empathetical to yourself. Start loving yourself, right? Now, the seventh and last tip that I'm going to give you to change the way you see yourself is to say phrases to go against your fears. So if you have fear of abandonment, fear of not receiving, people are not going to receive your love, just change it. Say every day to yourself, I love myself, I accept myself, I value myself, my qualities, these are my qualities, I love my qualities. Say your dreams. You need to have dreams as well, right? So see one of the benefits of that is to give yourself love, is to learn to receive people's love, and also receive your own love, because within you there is a belief that love is limited, right? So whenever you understand that love is limited, it runs out because the other person is not good enough or something, or because you were not good enough, right? If you stop limiting that thought, you don't go in a relationship expecting I'm giving to get. Go in a relationship thinking I'm giving because I love, right? And this person deserves to be loved. The same thing happens with the unworthiness, right? If the person is loving you, look at that and say, hey, they're loving me. Let me receive this love. I am worthy of love because they are loving me, and that proves it, right? And if your partner, it's the biggest tip today, if your partner is an anxious partner, whenever you are giving them love, ask this: how does it feel to be loved by me? Ask them this: how can you feel? Oh, can you feel that I love you? Can you feel the love that I'm giving you right now? Do you take in the love, my compliment? Can you take in my compliment right now? Do you feel that I want you close to me? Do you feel that I value you? Yeah. Put attention on this thing that I'm giving you. I'm trying to understand you. I'm trying to be there for you. Can you take it in? I'm trying to be there for you. Can you love me? Can you receive my love, right? And that is the end of our live today. Last week I gave the 4 attachment styles. Today I talked about the anxious attachment style. And I'm going to keep on teaching you about things like this on our lives. Thank you for being with me. Thank you so much for participating and watching and writing to me. I have to end. I have a whole session right now with a couple. But I thank you so much. And I hope to see you soon. Please share my content so we can help more and more people all over the world with receiving and giving love. Anthony, I am so sorry. I cannot do a live with you, like putting you on the screen today. I have a patient right this minute. They're not here. Abden and Abel are not home. I gotta go, honey. Bye.